Hello. Okay, good morning everyone. How are you guys doing? Good. Okay. So I'm glad that you all have come in spite of the weather. I hope all of you came safely. Okay, and online students, I hope all of you are safe. What a rain it was. Allah? Yes. Okay. Anyway, so welcome to Sunday MANTHAN 2.0. Okay, so we thought we will start with mains, but anyways, because of the re-exam, so we'll be continuing with our prelims preparation itself. Okay, so this will be a little bit different initiative. Okay, so yavaglu current affairs ಮಾಡಿ ನಮಗೂ ಬೋರ್ ಆಗೋಗಿತ್ತು. I am sure you guys also listening to a lot of current affairs, the same thing repeating again and again. I thought we can try something different. Okay, keeping in mind the recent trends that is going on, in the at least in KPSC exams. Okay, so if you have analyzed recently what all has happened, we used to do this also during our times when we used to prepare. See, preparing blindly is of no use. At least we should be aware as to what can be the trend, what can be expected from the exam, and accordingly we plan our preparation. Okay, so that is what we are doing now also, trying to find out what is the trend. If we recollect previously, 2-3 years back, I used to always tell, and most of the faculties used to say, for prelims, know something about everything. Yes, so that was the strategy or approach. Know something about everything. Okay, but mains it used to be different. Okay, it had to be a little bit in-depth analysis for the mains. But now, looking at the trends, we have to change a little bit of our approach. Okay, cutoffs are coming down. The questions are becoming much more detailed, in-depth and difficult. Okay, so the strategy now, your strategy should be to know something, to know everything about something. Okay, to know everything about something. So with that approach, we have come up with this strategy, okay, where we will be targeting about 250 plus. It's not going to be the exact number, obviously. So more than 250 most important topics that can be expected. I'll show you why we are planning this, why me and my team sat together, and one person cannot do it, obviously. Okay, because it is difficult. Unlike your regular current affairs where you go on telling little about everything, it's easy. Here, a little bit in-depth analysis, a little bit more detailed facts, etc. is required. So the strategy of these sessions will be, going a little bit deeper into some of the topics which we feel will be, which will appear more frequently. That we used to do for our mains. And that used to work. When I cleared KAS in 2014, that's what we did. I did not study everything. But whatever I studied, I was able to write really well. And based on basic knowledge, you can write something about everything. That goes without saying. You can write something about everything, even your multiple choice question also. You can mark something about everything. If you, like for example, I always take the example of history. Okay, history nange gottilla andruno, right? I can manage at least out of 10, 1 or 2 questions based on hear and say what I would have heard, common sense, traveling, going visiting temples, this monuments. Something will be, you'll know if you are having that common mindset and common knowledge, you can write something. But at least few topics detail agi gottirbeku, right? So you choose which are those subjects where you will have to know in depth. So that should be your strategy. If you ask me, okay, you will realize it later also. Okay, after 2 months when the exam, when you give your exams, you'll realize. So know a little bit detail about about some of the important topics. So those topics are common topics which are there in the basic syllabus. Also something which is in the current trend. Obviously current affairs is important, but current affairs, if you saw the previous question paper, current affairs na concept ke they have linked and they have asked questions a little bit in depth. Okay, it is actually very easy, but since we would have just prepared very superficially, right? So somewhere we would have made those silly mistakes. Correct? All of you might have realized you knew the topic, you have read it, you have attended some 4-5 classes on those topics, but yet you were making some silly mistake. Come back and then you saw the option that this sentence, you have made those mistakes, because there will be a little bit lack of clarity. So if you ask me, if you have already finished your prelims preparation, which you would have obviously because you have given the exam once, okay, so now what you should do is again revise more number of times, a little bit more in-depth analysis madidre, you will be much more comfortable. So our effort towards this, to your preparation, is to target some 250 topics which are there in news, address it from both conceptual as well as current affairs point of view, so that you will be, at least if you get those out of 250, on 40 topics bandru, no, you will be much more comfortable. 40 andre 80, more than what you would, some of you would have got in the previous exam itself. Okay, so that's probably what we would do, and we will be targeting all the subjects, not just current affairs. Matlab we will be doing even history, 1 or 2 session on history and heritage culture also. Okay, and obviously on schemes, programs, everything, which we have already informed you all beforehand. Okay, so that's what we plan to do in the next 70 days, or rather that's what you should do in the next 70 days, probably weekly once on every Sunday. We will try and do our a contribution to that. Okay, so what we will do is every Sunday, right, so we will take up topics. So as I told you, I mean, as we have already informed you, I will discuss 1 or 2 economy topic today, because I'll be spending more on the strategy, and then we will have geography and places in news, and then polity and governance. So that's how we will try and cover some of the topics in today's session. All right, and we will also have weekly tests. Okay, so ivattiralla. Okay, so from next week onwards, we will have weekly test, about 50 questions, so that everybody can take it and you can evaluate your performance and make changes as you go. It will also be free of cost. You can give the test, and ranking will be given to you instantly. Okay, then you have a comprehensive test, just giving you an idea. So 1 week before the actual exam, a comprehensive test we will have with the ranking also, and 29th is your exam, right? I mean, it is very important, but it's not that difficult, the examination. The problem is we are not consistent enough. Habba barta ide next Deepavali, so if you get deviated like that, Dasara bantu, you get deviated, that is the problem. Okay, something happens, you stop your preparation, to pick it up you spend about 3-4 days. Okay, so those things you avoid. Okay, it is very easy, you don't have to put in any additional hard work. All that you have to do, whatever effort you are putting, just make sure you are consistent. And I am telling you, there are lakhs of students like you who are preparing across Karnataka, desperate for a job in civil services. Is that okay? Some are in service, some are CTO, some are Tahsildars. I have my students from previous Tahsildar attending online also. Okay, so there are students like that, ACCT ಅವರು ಕೂಡ attend ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, to be frank. Okay, so you have to compete with them. They already know the system, so they already know how everything to be navigated. So you guys have to make sure you are there. I'm not saying you have to do something, magical or anything. But if you neglect, that's the problem. Enagutte, oh, I've already prepared. Okay, I'm a UPSC student. Oh, I'll do that. If you neglect, then KPSC or whatever the exam will show it to you. That's it. Okay, so just be humble. Just do whatever is required for you to do, okay, for this examination, and I'm sure it will help. Is that okay? So give tests again wherever possible, whichever test is there, try to give as many tests as possible. Okay, so that is useful. Again, don't get whatever, lot of things will be happening, don't get diverted, have a strategy. Okay, stick to that strategy. Wherever you are getting help, use it. Okay, it should be based on demand, not on supply. Nimge beka, then you use it, not just because things are available. Yello on kade rapid revision, that this anta, or Sunday manthan aagta ide anta hogi, if it is not going to be of use to you, then you should not waste your time. Okay, so this is what we will try and do. So here are the topics which we have planned. Okay, so weekly, the week before, couple of days before, we will tell you which subject we are doing, so that you can keep track of it. Okay, so these subjects enandre you would have already read. Okay, see, if you see today's topic also, I'm sure you would have already read it. If you have already read, it will be revision. Okay, if you have not read properly, then it will give you clarity. Okay, if you have no idea about it, you will learn about it. So it depends on your level of preparation. Okay, but at least it will give you an idea as to how important topics can be covered. All right, so I'll tell you those things why we have thought about it this way. So there will be preparatory exam. So this will be useful like last time when we had Mission Vijaya, to give you an idea as to where you stand so that you can make those correction. Okay, so for weekly test, right, it will be online so that ranking can be given instantly. If you are attending offline, mobile you can give that test, half an hour test, or I mean 50 question andre 1 hour test. Okay, so basically you have to go to the student login. I'm just showing because a lot of people get confused with these also. Okay, so if you go to our website, Nammakpsc, there is student login. Click on that student login. When you click on student login, you will find like these icons. Okay, just scroll the icon, you will find Sunday MANTHAN, this should be 2.0 test. Okay, anyway, Sunday MANTHAN 2.0, if you click, okay, you will get start now, free. Click on that start now. If you are not registered, you have to register one time. If you have already given Mission Vijaya or any other tests or attending our course, or if you are our student or anything which you have already logged in, use the same login. Okay, if you are a new student, then you will have to give it one time. Okay, where email ID and mobile number ke liye you will get your password. So once you log in, you will get the test. Also, the slides that we'll be doing in the class will be available over here, because I don't know where else to put it. If we put it in groups, people don't find it. Okay, so here we will neatly organize, okay, part 1, part 2, part 3 slides, okay, PPT slides, so that it will be useful. You can write down, but at the same time, the slides will have pictures, etc., which may be useful for you. So that's something where you can log in. So log in and then you can give the test. Is that okay? So those who have already logged in, you can just give your user ID and password, and you will find this Sunday MANTHAN course there, where you will find PDFs. Okay, you will find the test papers, ranking, everything will be there over there. Okay, so this is what you can do for the tests. Is that okay? If you have any issues, please feel free to call us. We will try and help as much as possible. Okay, so this is what we will plan to do in our classes. Now, before I start topic, only for now I will do the strategy session, then we will not waste too much of time. We will stick to the topics. Okay, other faculties, me taking class next time, I will not be discussing these things. So just for your approach towards this examination, if you are KPSC aspirants exclusively preparing for this attempt, okay, so you have 70 days, 40 and 30 days you can divide it. Okay, so this 40 days you can focus on prelims and mains, but again it depends on individual. If you are not comfortable with prelims, if you have got 80, 70 in your prelims, then I would suggest you focus on prelims itself. It's okay. You will have enough time after prelims. ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಓ ಬೇಗ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದು ಇದು. In my 12 years of 13 years of my career, I have not seen KPSC performing that well. Okay, and it won't happen now also. If they do also, there are people who will make sure that it doesn't happen. Okay, so don't worry, you will have enough time if you ask me. Okay, but obviously preparing for mains will give you a better idea of prelims also. So that's where I feel that if you have done well, like around 120, 130 score bandidre in your prelims, you can focus on your mains. Okay, so focus on 15, 10 days strategy andre 15 days one subject, one section of your mains, 15 days another section of your mains. So mains, if you have seen, there are 4 papers, each paper is divided into sections, right? So one section would require about 15 days to prepare. Okay, when I say preparation, of each section, so like you take post-independent Karnataka, or you take public administration, or you take rural development, or you take basic science, whatever, that is one section. So what should your strategy be in this 15 days? Along with your prelims, I am saying. So, iga neevu, if you are preparing, so if you are preparing for 8 hours, okay, so in this 8 hours, 4 hours you can give for mains and the other 4 hours you can give for your prelims. This you can give for the next 40 days. So if you ask me what should your preparation for your mains look like now, no sitting and by hearting, no sitting and trying to master your answer writing. Yes, answer writing is good, but that can happen after prelims. What should your strategy be for your mains is, first understand the syllabus and the concepts. Okay, any standard book or class you attend, you will understand the basic concepts. Then making notes. You have to make notes because in KPSC mains, content is a king. You know, answer writing also is important, but content becomes very, very important, unlike in UPSC. UPSC, okay, so I have cleared both UPSC mains, also KPSC mains. I know the difference. So UPSC optional ge hege ನೀವು prepare ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, right? Where you have a detailed notes, where you have to know in-depth factual information, classification, headings. Hege optional you have, if you have ever prepared for optional, you know proper definition, names, facts, case studies, examples, how you should have. Ade riti you have to prepare here also. Because if you have seen previous year question, and that's how it is going to be also. Okay, that I mean, I can tell you that the trend will not change that drastically because syllabus will not allow them to change that drastically. Is that okay? So they are going to ask very direct question. Like geography, like if you take as an example, geography UPSC mein there will be analysis based question. Iga male barta idya, how do you address those issues associated with an urban rainfall or something like that, urban island, heat island, aa tara ella kelid. But here it is going to be more factual. Okay, they are going to ask continental drift theory, Wegener's theory, etc. Something like that they'll ask you. Very direct questions have been asked. So alli you need to know content. And how do you get those content? You have to make notes. Syllabus itkondu you have to do. And don't worry about 100% syllabus complete ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, so make sure as much as possible. If you find a syllabus topic which you don't know or you don't have notes, leave it. Move on. Okay, on the 70 to 80% of the syllabus, you should have made notes. Is that okay? So that's what you are supposed to do. Okay, so make notes and keep everything ready. After prelims, you start by hearting. Okay, and then start writing answers. You can practice it now, no doubt, but you should be prepared to write answers, tests, etc. after prelims. But for that you need content alla. Avaga udkondo you can't run around finding which book to read, which class to attend, etc. At least if you know the way notes should be done, which classes to attend, etc., then at least once prelims is over, some comfort level will be there. Then you will not start panicking. Okay, so that's what you can do. Okay, so this is what you try and do. So I have put a list of these topics, few of them, which are not there in your prelims. Okay, so other than public administration management, it's a completely new subject which is not there in your prelims. Okay, so those subjects, read the entire syllabus, make notes according to the topics, headings, definition, what is it, what is Minubrook conference, what is NPM, what is NPA, like that, difference, what is management, what is, a question will be very direct, what is the difference between public administration and management. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 2-3 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ವೇಗಾಗಿ you can't write. Okay, if you write that much, you will get 2 marks out of 10. But if you are able to by heart 10 points difference, you will get 8 marks. KPSC is very liberal in giving marks also. If you see the difference between 140 alla easyagi sikbidutte GS alli. So why they get so much is because they write so much. Okay, by heart madi or remember factual information, headings, whatever it is. Adike you should have notes. How you prepare for your optional, ade riti you have to prepare for your mains. So prelims alli you will already be studying polity, you will be studying economy, environment, etc. So adu will cover those topics anyways. Okay, but after prelims you can start focusing on that exclusively from mains point of view. But these which are not there in prelims, maybe you can take 3 subjects and you can finish it off. Is that okay? So that can be a strategy. And last 30 days, keep it for prelims. If this can be the master strategy for your examination. Okay, so you will be well prepared on the ethics mugskolli, on public administration, on rural development, you know, and then economy, polity when you read, geography when you read, history when you read, you will feel very familiar, so you won't be worked up. Okay, so within about 40 days, after prelims, andre by February 15th, you can finish off your mains preparation. So after February, you can start giving your test series. For those who have not done mains once also, this can be the strategy. Okay, now so this is what probably you can do. Okay, so that is a very brief strategy as to what you can do. Okay. Yeah, so if you are working people, working aspirant, don't worry, focus on prelims. You have 4 to 5 days, working aspirants, don't worry about mains. Okay, I am telling you, you will have enough time, don't worry. You got 3 months idruno, I will tell you a strategy. Okay, if we have 6 months also, I will give strategy. If there is re-exam in mains also, I will tell you the strategy. Okay, so don't worry. So strategy ke liye free agi kodadike strategy, lot of experts are there. So I am also one of them, so don't worry about that. Okay, it can be managed. See, if it is difficult for you, it will be difficult for everybody. So don't worry about it. For working aspirants, 4 hours more than enough. On last 15-20 days idiyala, give 10 hours that time. Till then, medical leave adidu you can take, and 15 days before you can prepare. Ali tanka 4 to 5 hours is more than enough. I'm telling you, story also, like, if you want an inspirational story about somebody who was working, 2014, while preparing also, I used to teach. Okay, Girish Nandan anta, he's an AC today. So he used to work. I remember taking class at 6 o'clock. Okay, so 6 o'clock class again, he used to always come late because he had to finish his work. Papa, he used to travel all the way and then reach by around 6:30, 6:45. If you happen to meet him, you can ask actually. 6:45 he used to attend class, and night 12, 1 tanka he used to study, what he used to tell. And that attempt he cleared the exam, got AC. Okay, I think he posted somewhere in Sakleshpur, somewhere there now. Okay, so that's how people can do it if you are consistent. He did not miss even a single class. Weekends mein, when we used to have long hours class, for that he used to aram se attend. Weekdays mein difficult it used to attend. Then difficult to attend regular, all the time. Then holidays mein sit and study. But be consistent in whatever. So working our challenging is that only, time. But at least you will be comfortable. Postpone aita, re-exam aita, innon sala baribeka, you will not worry because you already have a job. You are getting paid and you are having salary, you can take care of yourself. But those who are not working, their tension is very different. So, ellarguno tension because you have chosen a very, profession which requires you. And don't think that once you clear, tension will go off. Actually, if you ask me from my personal experience, tension actually jasti agutte. Okay, service alli irovrge innu tension jasti. Okay, postings ge, okay, transfers and all of that. And the politicians are not so friendly these days. Okay, so you know how things can get out of hand, right? So you have to be prepared for that. Okay, yaro, when I put this picture over here, I think it may have got a lot of motivation. Okay, like this. Right, so Vidansaudaದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೈಡ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದಾರಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬನ್ನಿ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಅಂತ, but it's not like that. If you happen to want some transfers etc, you want to go and meet your MLA or ministers or somebody, ಕೂರಕ್ ಜಾಗನೂ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, you will be standing outside and waiting. Okay, so that's how things are, right? But at the same time ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು powers and you have the ability to contribute and things are there. I'm showing, both ideas you should, both awareness you should have. Anyways, so working aspirants ke liye, that's the strategy, don't worry. Okay, is that okay? So I'm little quick so that we can cover more topics. I hope illa innonsala YouTube alli solpa slow agi you can listen to it, but I've just been quick because I don't want to unnecessarily waste a lot of time on strategy sessions. All right. So economy topics, right? So what are the topics? See, why this strategy? Again, it's not simply like, okay, yen madana, time pass madana antalla. So if you actually look at the questions that were asked in the August exam, when you have taken the exam, if you see, out of about 13 questions were asked in paper 1 from economy. So I have just broken it down. I saw the questions, I have solved it myself, and after seeing that, we can break it down into these topics, chapters or whatever from the economy syllabus. Ellaru heltare it was difficult, that this, etc. I told you in my previous video also that it was a challenging paper, but it could have been managed. If you did not manage it and you are blaming the exam for being tough, that means you will find even the December exam difficult. Okay, take my word. You will be blaming even in December. If you feel that it was difficult and you got less like 60, 70 marks, that means you need to buckle up. You need to work harder. If you see these questions over here, I put this because you will be aware, and if somebody is just talking out of the blue, exam aache band takshnane difficult paper, without even analyzing it, was not fair. Okay, yes, translation issues, etc. I agree, that is a problem, and that is the main reason why re-exam should have been held, but not with respect to difficulty of the paper. Okay, the exam is getting competitive, more and more people are studying, more and more people have more information, right? So obviously exam is going to be tough only. Is that okay? Not only this, every other exam, CTI, PSI, SAD exam, ellanu have been on a challenging side. Okay, so you also have to be prepared for the worst, hope for the best. If you see these topics, see why I am telling, why you have to know everything, at least about something, is the reason you will get to know. See, if you see the questions over here, so you have questions on inflation. Okay, inflation chapter, basic question, basic conceptual question was asked. Cost push effect, and these are all something which has been repeated also. Okay, same way union budget value. We have done a class. We have kept telling that we had a document also on union budget. Question was from that only, right? Then money aggregate, M3 definition, very obvious. Ido almost some, when I started also, these were the challenging ones, M3, M. So it was asked, right? Terms, devaluation, credit rating, capital expenditure, obvious questions. Okay, monetary policy, right? Banking terms, ATM, benchmark rating, it's all very direct questions. CAR, capital adequacy ratio and all. FRBMA Act, okay, very direct question. Okay, so this much, 8 questions out of 13, and if you add this 13th question also, they were almost very easy to attempt. So I can say 8 out of 13, andre 16 marks economy you should have got, provided that you have clarity with those topics which you would have studied. The same topics, yen extra antala. Is that okay? So this is the trend that was asked. So if you see here, what can be expected also is from these standard topics. Okay, what is these data? Idu obviously yaru kuda, it would have been very difficult to manage it. And fabless manufacturing also. ಈಗ next economy class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ add ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, but I am sure nobody would have even handled it. No, even Google ಮಾಡಿದ್ರುನು no institute would have addressed this. Okay, only post exam people would have handled it. Okay, so these 4 questions, yes, are difficult. The others can be managed. I am just adding 8, 9 or 8 can be handled. Okay, you would have made mistakes. Why you would have made mistakes? Lack of clarity, okay, or lack of understanding. So a sentence noddaga you would have made mistakes, either to understand it or reading it differently or not having clarity, and then you end up guessing, and when you guess, obviously the chances of you making a mistake will increase. Okay, so therefore based on this analysis you can understand. Okay, so some of the important topics that you need to still cover. ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು 8 questions ಅಲ್ಲಿ 8 ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, that means your conceptual clarity needs to be improved. Whatever is the source, again standard textbooks adidu NCERT ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, but it's gone beyond NCERT. Is that okay? NCERT may be useful for you to understand a book, but a book is, any standard book for civil services is more important. Is that okay? So again, just to recap, make sure that these topics you are comfortable, you read it, understand it, and it cannot be just factual. Superficial agi agadilla, guidebook or somebody even attending this class. This classes will be just revision. You should do your homework. We will provide you the direction. Again, I am telling you, it's not going to be like nam notes ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. We are just trying to provide you a direction, know more about it. Okay, we will discuss, but this is for probably for a more advanced level. Somebody who thinks that I'll come understand economics from here, you can't. Okay, I'm telling you now only, these classes are not for that. And current affairs is okay because superficial agi ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Illi it is just giving you a direction that okay, ee topics mele you can read more from your own textbook or do go from various sources online, etc. You can do it. So make sure these terms which are there in national income like GDP, GNP, gross, net, concept of that, is that okay? Market value, factor value, GVA. Yes, I'm not going to explain all of that if I don't have a plan to do that, but you should know it. Are you understanding? GVA andre enu anta gottilla andre, then you will have to attend from the basics. Is that understood? So those terms, aden difference, so the formula are riti. Okay, so national income, growth measurements, GDP, GNP, GSDP, all those things. Adu concept you be clear. Then link it with your economic survey, link it with your budget. Is that okay? That clarity should be there. And see, you might be feeling very uncomfortable me telling you all of this. You might feel like I don't know these things, etc. But that's the fact. Be uncomfortable now, address it so that you'll be comfortable in the exam. But many times what happens is, you feel like attending those classes where superficially things are done. You feel very happy attending the class. Okay, but in the exam, what you felt on August is very uncomfortable. What would you choose? Be uncomfortable now and comfortable in the exam. I am telling you, you don't know, you don't know. If you feel you don't know, then you should work towards it. Is that okay? So growth measurement, national income, adu idu, whatever terms, concepts, the definitions, how it is calculated, etc. Once you are clear with that, link it with your data, facts, etc. from the current affairs. Okay? Next, fiscal policy. So taxation, direct, indirect taxes. Adralli they have asked, no, now current account, capital account, revenue receipts, etc. What is the definition, etc. All those things. FRBM, it comes under this only. Fiscal policy, federalism, federal issue. We'll start with that today. Fiscal policy, finance commission, federal issues, we will address. Okay, so adhe riti, FRBMA, why did they ask? It is very obvious they will ask. Okay, this time they will ask finance commission. Okay, high chance, high probability. Kelbodu anta. Okay, so you have to know a little bit in depth about it. Not just article 280 over. Alla munche kelta idru. Finance commission article estappa 280 na adu idu. Now it is little bit in depth. Right? So that's what. Fiscal policy may, all those things, GST issues, right? Those maybe from a mains point of view, but GST various current affairs concepts, okay, what is the destination based tax, so the terms, etc., cess, surcharge. Then monetary policy, M3 and all was nothing but from monetary policy, expansionary, contractionary policies, all those things. Banking may, okay, various terms, what was that, benchmark lending rate, so that is nothing but from the banking chapter itself. And very basic, the basic conceptual knowledge. CAR, capital adequacy ratio. Every time we do it in the basic class. So those things, CAR, okay, all those things, and different money instruments. That's what another topic we will do today is money instruments, digital money. So other mele questions can be asked, digital payment aggregates, etc. Inflation may, 2 questions was asked. Still it is possible. Terms relating to inflation, okay, measures and various other things. Okay, balance of payment with external sector, foreign capital, FDI, FPI, any recent changes with respect to those things will be asked. All right. So convertibility, right? Current account convertibility, capital account convertibility, all those standard things. WTO, I think somewhere they had asked one question on that also. So WTO, various agreement on agriculture, Okay, the different, or again standard you might feel, oh, idi ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ, but there in the exam clarity will help you to get marks. Export and then industrial sectors alli ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ terms, concepts. If you add agriculture to it from an economy point of view, maybe there also. So these basic chapters are there, which is done. Do it much more, do it properly, okay, in depth. As I told you, learn everything about these things. Okay, learn everything about these things. So RET, if you are able to crack about 120 questions, okay, out of, around maybe like a previous, like we can say out of 100, out of 200, 100 question andre, so you will get around 200. Average difficulty level, not as difficult as the previous August exam. So like that 100 topics proper agi you should be able to score. Is that okay? So that's what probably you need to focus on, right? If you need a standard book, we have our own book, but if you have already read something, stick to that, but make sure you go in depth. Okay, so this is what probably you should be able to do. Link it with current affairs. So we'll start with the first topic of today, that is Finance Commission. Quickly revision, okay, of what all is there in Finance Commission, in news, that, this, etc. Okay. See, online students may, like GST appellant tribunal chairman, newly appointed, all of that. Yes, true. Those things are in news. So those are, however, if you see the trends, I was very, bad at factual information. Itara hesaru, dates, names, etc. Okay, and if you look at and UPSC, KPSC questions, they don't ask so much of. They ask data, etc., but in a sentence, statement wise, etc., where if you have concept clarity, you can answer them. You can making a list of all Bharat Ratna and you try to by heart it. You make a list of all the 2024 ka or 23 ka Padma Bhushan and make a list of it, and then you discuss, or you make a class or make a video out of it. It all is very attractive for a video, for a video bit. For your YouTube channel, it makes a lot of impact. This is the fact, this is the fact, this is the fact. Okay, but it's very difficult to score from factual information in your exam. Thank God I was able to give KPSC, UPSC, which did not focus so much on facts, and I was able to clear all the time. But if I had given lesser exams then, like PSI, etc., then, which used to be very factual, I could not have cleared even PSI then. Is that okay? But KAS was not like that. Same thing, UPSC aspirants also, ನೀವು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ SSC or group C exams, group B exams ಕೊಡಿ, they will not be able to clear. Okay, because the approach itself is very different. Okay, to impress you, I might be able to give you facts like this. Okay, see this, these are facts. Okay, sit and by heart it. Okay, what if they ask? It's nice to tell all that. Maybe even I also put it, but to what extent? Okay, ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ನೀತಿ ಆಯೋಗ, ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು CAG ಮಾಡಿ, okay, like that. If you go on by hearting the names of people, their chairman, the new appointment, the awards, etc., yes, it may be addressing 2-3 questions, but not very effectively. So don't get carried away by it, is what I'm telling you. From the trends I'm telling you. It's not like simply I'm trying, if it was factual, I would have told to sit and study facts. Okay, but even the data makes sense. Iga data no kelidrala, it's difficult, but adrallunu you can make sense. Data kododu is not to by heart those things. Data is given to analyze. Iga one company will make a chart, and even here like this we put some data like this. This is not like sit and by 0.08, 0.15 It's not for that. It is a visual representation of an analysis that we are making. Analysis ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ you can address factual information also in your exam, is what I hope I am able to convey that message to you. Is that okay? So that is what you should understand if you are preparing from a Group A Civil Services examination. Facts mele jasti concentrate madak hogbedi. Concepts are more important. Okay, so once you are thorough with the concepts, link it with certain degree of certain amount of facts. Don't get carried away by facts. Facts is very comfortable, okay, to learn, to read and all of that. To remember, it's very difficult. Concepts is very uncomfortable to learn. So therefore, make sure all these things, again, see, nenpitkolake statistics, data agadilla, all that, it's not true. You can, if you understand what these data is telling you, what is the trends, etc., you can understand. Iga we saw, no, here also, these datas were asked. Actually, it makes sense if you read it. You can rule out, if not getting the statement correct, you can still rule out sometimes some of the data. So get to that level. In the next 70 days, make sure you understand some data so that you can remember it. Okay, na? Right. So planning commission only what all, finance commission may what all things that we have to know. Quickly we will discuss, right? So 16th finance commission, recently appointed chairman Arvind Panagaria, right? He was ex-Niti Aayog vice chairman. Article 280, all of you must be knowing that, right? Article 280 plus there is a law also. This act, if you don't know, write it down. So this is the law, finance commission. So what does it say? It says also Parliament has the power to make law, to fix the qualification, okay, and provide it any other powers to function effectively. Functions are mentioned in the constitution, the powers are given by the act. Okay, which is the act? Finance Commission Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1951. Okay, which says the chairman shall be an expert in public affairs. I don't know, the question may be like, should be always an economic expert? No. It need not be an economic expert, should be an expert in public affairs. It can be a bureaucrat also who has no economic experience. It's a political appointment. But the members have to be economic and from public administration. A bureaucrat and an economist, okay, can be selected for members. Anybody in public affairs, an MLA also can be appointed. Like for example, our State Finance Commission, okay, the member Narayan Swamy was a politician. Yes, does have, I think, economy, this one, degree, I think, I'm not too sure, but was an ex-member of Parliament. State alli ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೇ politicians appoint ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, but central may it is little bit much more refined, so alli it is on public affair. Can politicians be appointed? Yes, right. So I'm just saying like that kind of a statement. So you have Parliament by law can determine the qualification, right? Finance Commission Miscellaneous Act. This is what I'm saying. ಈಗ ನಮ್ದು general book alli we will have, you know, Article 280, President will appoint once in 5 years or whenever, you know, he wants to, okay, for a period of 5 years or otherwise. Now the act provides for the qualification, terms and conditions, plus, you know, the powers. The power is provided by the act. Is that okay? So like this, we have all of this factual information. You can see the slide later and see the information. Maybe illi too much, somebody who is very much interested in this kind of facts can do it. Okay, trivia. But it's up to you. So 16th, 15th, Singh, Y.V. Reddy, Vijay Kelkar, etc. So adralli some facts, some numbers with respect to the recommendations of 15th Finance Commission. Quickly we will see, to recap, could be asked in the exam. Isalantu they can ask one question on this. Okay, so let's see. First topic, if we get, we will be successful. You will be successful. Anyways, so functions, duties is mentioned in the Constitution. Right? The powers to function is provided by the Parliament. Parliament has enacted this law, Finance Commission Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1951. Alva. So these are the things that I told you. Then what is the functions? Very quickly, if you you already obviously know it. So whatever taxes is collected by the center, okay, so which is to be divided between center and state, that shall be decided by the Finance Commission. So it not only divides vertical but also horizontal. All of you know that vertical devolution of taxes and horizontal, right? So if we see here, vertical is 41%. It was 42. It has been reduced after the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So this number, if you don't know, I'm sure all of you know it. And this is the horizontal devolution number. See, it might look simple. These are the facts you give importance to, if you ask me. Okay, not the members of the 16th finance. That may be the tertiary level fact. Yella agide nim memory space inno kali ide andre you can remember that. Is that okay? It's up to you. Okay. So secondary fact is the chairman. Primary fact I would say is this. Alva. So income distance adidu. So here these are again okay to remember. Idralli if some facts needs to be remembered, concepts need to be remembered. What do you mean by income distance? Distance between the state with the highest per capita and the other state. The more the distance andre, poorer the state. Alva. So income distance. So they can ask with respect to income distance, which of the following statement is correct. The higher the income distance or this one, the richer the state, atara they can change and give. Right? So income distance means distance of, let's say, Karnataka's income from that of the highest per capita income, which is that Haryana. Okay, which is that Haryana. So that is the income distance. Population, what is seen? 2011. 1971 census tagalta idru, alva. So that was there, 14, 15. Now it has been changed. Changed to what? Is demography an important factor? Yes, more the population, more will be their expenditure. Adike they give more money. But at the same time, performance in demography is important. Demography andre population structure and growth. Yes, state should do good to that also. So adike they have introduced a new, instead of this, they have introduced this one. So remember that. So for good performing state, is there any benefit? Yes. If you see here, demographic performance. This was introduced here. Is that okay? So Munche, it was for 1971 census. Obviously, Namma constitutional, they have fixed it at that. Even Finance Commission had fixed it at that. Mainly because southern states will otherwise cry. So that's where they have done that. Then what else is there? Area, obviously bigger the state, more will be the expenditure, that's there. Forest cover badlu, iga forest and ecology. Itara small, changes makes it confused. So these are the facts you should remember. Conceptual facts is what I would call it. Okay, adalla aitu amele demographic, amele tax effort. Okay, so if they are doing good to collect revenue for themselves and for the state, okay, so various tax reform, professional tax reforms, okay, their GST reforms, ugly, commercial tax, whatever. So those initiatives ke liye, they will be giving addition. So this is weightage, alva, for what? Horizontal devolution, horizontal sharing of taxes. 41%, how shall it be shared? Right. So coming back, right. So that is there. Then grant in aid, okay, 275 article grant in aid is there. But how will be given, what for will it be given, will be decided by or will be suggested by. I hope you know Finance Commission is advisory body, right? So it is going to be advising as to how under article 275 grant in aid should be given by the center to various states. So a grant in aid only in the 15th Finance Commission, what are the things there? Okay, grant in aids. So these facts can be asked. Okay, still we are in that same finance plan period. Alva. So grant in aids. So it will recommend to the center with respect to grant in aid. 4 things they have recommended. One is post devolution revenue deficit grant anta. So what does this mean? Okay, post devolution revenue deficit grant. So states who are having revenue deficit. What is revenue deficit? I hope you should be aware of. Alva. So your receipt minus expenditure. Otherly, whatever revenue deficit, it's bad or good. It's the worst form of deficit. Alva. If you have capital deficit, it's okay because you are using that money for capital expenditure like infrastructure, but revenue deficit is very bad. Why is it deficit? Why is it deficit? Because they're spending on revenue expenditure, alva. So on salaries, on loan repayment, interest or whatever. So therefore it is bad. So aduke subsidies, all of those, right? So even after transfer, if they are showing revenue deficit, they will be given. 14 states are eligible. Okay, and one more thing, I hope you know, 15th Finance Commission gave its report in 2 volumes, first report and the second report. Okay, see, I might be quick. Is that okay? Because the idea is that you have already given your prelims, so we are not teaching basics, so it will be a little bit quick. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿಮ್ದು class notes or whatever, you see it and get back to it. Is that okay? So this is there. 2 reports anta nimge ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Next is sector specific grants. So first report, second report. First report on nutrition, for example. Second report for health, education, agricultural modernization, rural roads, judiciary, defense. They are secondary factual information. Okay, you should be able to understand it a little bit in depth. Looking at the trends is what I'm saying. So do they give grants? Yes. What are the grants includes? It includes grants for improving the health, okay, education, agriculture, etc. Okay, then there is also disaster management grant, national and state disaster management fund for mitigation and for response. And these will be created in public account. I hope you know public accounts. Yes. Right, so what is public account, constitutional status, so the contingency fund, okay, right, all of those, right, so you should be able to know, right. So public ade idella gottirbeku. So assuming that you know, I am trying to be quick in what we are discussing. Okay, disaster management fund. Then other recommendations are there. There is a list of these things. Okay, quickly you need to read it, understand, remember, whatever. On 2-3 times, fair idea you should have. Prelims, the beauty is sentence ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದು you will be able to remember. You don't have to by heart if you ask me. So therefore be familiar with it. 4-5 ಸಲ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ you will get familiar. ಆಯ್ತಾ? So for tourism, for historic monuments and infrastructure relating to that. Special grants for state in the first report. Which states receiving less devolution? ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 3 states, Karnataka, Telangana, Mizoram, whose devolution reduced. Is that okay? Andre ಮುಂಚೆಗೂ ಈಗಕ್ಕೂ it had reduced. So for them extra grant because they were crying, so they got more money. Okay, then All India Medical Health Services, tertiary hospital in northern state, reforms in tax, review of all centrally sponsored schemes and merging of them, abolishing all unnecessary this one. Okay, then need for a public finance management. We need a law for public finance management system and FRBMA Act to follow it. So such grants to abide, states to abide by those FRBM Act provisions. Adukunu grants etc. can be provided. Okay, so these are the grant in aids. Okay, and also grants for local bodies. So grants will be given to the state to augment the resources of the local bodies. I'll quickly repeat it again. Right? So what is the function of Finance Commission? Vertical tax distribution as well as horizontal. So both formula, this is 41% and here there is a formula, correct? Grant in aid for various purpose, we saw that. Yes, for welfare like health, education, etc. For infrastructure development, for financial management, FRBM, etc. For disaster management. So these are a couple of important ones. If you are able to remember sentence and keldaga, you can rule them out. Okay, then financial review of the states and support the states if there is any shortage in their revenue. Augment the resources of the state to promote local bodies. Alva panchayats matte urban local bodies to enhance their fund. Okay, measures to enhance the state consolidated fund and any other additional matters. Any other additional matters. So this is provided by the constitution, what all they can do. This additional matter also is provided in the constitution. Article 280 clause 2 clause C says that Finance Commission can be asked to give recommendation on any other matter other than these. Any other matter. Okay, this time the 16th Finance Commission has been given the mandate in addition to these. In addition to this, it has been, the center has asked it to also suggest, okay, measures to to review disaster management initiative. This time, 16th Finance Commission. Only one additional terms of reference has been given. That additional reference is this. This is there in the constitution, the other 4. That is compulsory. Any finance commission, that will be there. Okay, the additional terms of reference will be this. Okay, reviewing the disaster management initiatives. Is that okay? Artha something? Later you can take the slides. In the slides again you can quickly revise, and from your notes, whatever you have done, okay, otherly you can link it. Okay, na? Right. So now little bit we'll jump to some mains also. This can be a very potential mains topic, an essay topic also. So if you ask me one essay topic, if you have to prepare, fiscal, federalism, finance commission and GST. Ee mooru in-depth, detailed, factual and data analysis you should prepare. It will help you for your prelims. So if you want to prepare for essay, mains simultaneously, even there also you can expect these questions. So if you know more about it, you will be comfortable. Aa reeti on the 200 topics for mains also, if you prepare. Okay, and the rest something you can write. But the 200 ali on the 20-30 questions bandre, you will be very comfortable. So what are the issues with respect to specifically finance commission? What is the issues? Okay, so one is the main issue everybody is crying is cess and surcharge. Alva. So because they are constitutionally mandated to divide the taxes. Okay, so they are reducing the tax and taking more. I mean, not reducing, but you know, they are, instead of increasing the taxes, if they increase the taxes, income tax, if they increase the tax, they have to give it to states. So instead of increasing the taxes, they are increasing the surcharge or adding extra surcharge or cess, etc. So that's the major issue. So here what is happening? 23% of the gross receipt is cess and surcharge. E data is what you have to remember for your mains. Okay, fiscal federalism andre nimdu notes alli you should have some 4-5 data which you can remember. Is that okay? 23% of the receipt is from cess and surcharge for the states. Sakbud. So that is an example. Next, political appointment. Okay, political appointment of the members or son, etc. So if they are towing the lines of the central government, probably, I am saying finance commission, that's political in appointment. Political consideration also, the grants, etc. Okay, more favorable, factors are towards the northern states and the center, I mean southern states say. Then recommendation is not binding, so it might not implement that in spirit, right? There may be delay in the grants or it may be tied grants, which reduces the independence of the states. Alva, issue with the formula, whatever, like one of them is population. Alva, population is given importance here, 10% weightage is given. The northern state will complain saying that it is with respect to infrastructure or tax, demographic performance. So both the sides arguments are there and fair enough. Okay, and state expenditure is increasing. Okay, whereas its receipts, like for example, welfare programs, etc. are increasing. Centrally sponsored schemes, mandated expenditures are all increasing, but their revenue sources are very less. So their expenditures on welfare is 61%, but their revenue is 38%. That means the rest they are dependent on the central government. Okay, for grants and other things, and then they have to, be very, what do you say? Seeking support from the central government, which many states, especially opposition states, would not prefer. Okay? So these things, factual information or whatever you call it, should be there for your mains. This is what I said. Mains exclusive topics are there. Mains which you can prepare while preparing for your prelims also. Okay, whether it is you read current affairs, notes, standard textbooks, these things should be kept in mind. Side alli on notes itkondu, there you have to know. Fiscal federalism can be asked for sure. In somewhere in governance, polity, economy, or in essay, right? Here is the graph showing how much they get for the contribution they make to the pool, the common pool, under a center state, the tax revenue, common pool, which is then distributed at 41%. So what is the contribution and what they get? If you see here, okay, for every money, what do they get? So this is the amount each state, for every rupee they contribute. Karnataka 1 rupee kotre, they get 15 paisa, right? So that's what it is. Illi Bihar gives 1 rupee, they get 7 rupees. This data you can write for your mains, alva, comparison. So Bihar versus Nam Karnataka. So this comparison you should know. So that's what, this is the minimum data. Understand, 7 rupees andaju, 15 paisa andaj. So compare it for every rupee. See, data nodaga, graph nodaga, you yourself can appreciate it. That's the reason why data is asked in the exam, not trivia. Okay, that's not like school we used to have no highest mountain, lowest ido. That is secondary. The day you are all group A, preparing for group A exam, where facts has meaning to it. So understand the meaning behind every facts. Okay, like data, you will be comfortably solving the MCQs. Okay, so some terms again, terms so keltarala. So difference between, net proceeds and tax expenditure, ariti they can ask statement. What is net proceeds? It's basically tax minus cost of collection. Usually why I have written this, students get confused. Tax expenditure means the expenditure incurred for collecting tax. No, that's not it. So tax expenditure means tax foregone, meaning what tax they could have collected but they don't collect. Agriculture income tax on agricultural income is a tax foregone, meaning yes, it is called as tax expense. These terms, when you see this, you should Google it up or see your standard textbook and make note of it. So tax expenditure is where the government would have collected the tax, but it has decided not to collect tax foregone, or government revenue loss due to tax exclusion, exemptions, deductions, okay, credits, deferral, meaning not collecting now. Okay, even say for example penalty, they say don't pay penalty now, don't pay interest now, all those things, and preferential tax rates. Is that okay? This is tax expenditure. Students get confused. Tax expenditure means cost for collecting the taxes. Sentence ಮಾಡುವಾಗನು examiner ಹಂಗೇನೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ತಳ್ತಾರೆ, right? By giving those with so much commitment, they will write, you will feel like that. But here this tax proceeds are, you remove the cost of collection. Okay, na? Something like that. Okay? All these things, factual, it's there in all standard books. You can see, you can also see how the taxes have reduced, tax shares have reduced each time. All these are things, grant in aid, disaster management, other. Cess surcharge gottirbeku. Both are tax on tax, okay, except that cess is for a particular purpose and it is non-lapsable, it is kept in a separate account, it is used for that purpose, no other purpose. Surcharge, just government being more greedy, wants more money but doesn't want to share that to the states, surcharge, right? So just the difference, if you see tax on tax, earmarked tax for a particular purpose. This can be even other than tax, extra fee, levy, something like that, it can be. Okay, here to every taxpayer, here who can pay ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ extra ದುಡ್ಡಿದೆ ಅವರ ಹತ್ರ, so let's collect more tax, high income, okay, and all of that. Then used for special objective, there is no restriction. Both will go to consolidated fund of the of India, but it can also be kept in public account so that the government can use it without parliamentary approval. Once it is approved by a law, so then they can create this public account and money can be put there and used whenever they want. Whereas here, it is like any other tax. Okay, it will go to the consolidated fund and it will be used for any purpose. Okay, same for everyone, rate is same for everyone. Surcharge, it changes with respect to income. In both the cases, center has need not constitutionally distribute it among the states. Okay, cess can be even levied by the union and the state government also. So those facts you should, I mean those difference, sentence or whatever, basic things. This is very commonly asked question, can be asked also. Okay, cess and surcharge. Again, why I am adding all these things is, again, what is the issue with respect to cess Santa, right? One is it does not share, but it is a very important route, backdoor entry, easy to introduce, easy to modify, easy to abolish. It can be simply done through a government order, notification. Okay, whereas tax requires law. No law, no taxation. Correct? No representation, no taxation. Okay, so tax cannot be levied without making a law, which is nothing but your budget law, right? So your budget. So need to be amended. Whereas cess can be done simply through a, changes can be done to cess simply through a notification, right? Need not share with the state. It is for specific purpose and it can be carried to the next year also, right? Why cess? So question like this, define cess. How is it different from surcharge? Discuss the issues associated with cess system in India. Crisp, 15 mark, okay, you should get 12 marks. KPSC will give you that marks. Okay, direct question. Then, one more thing is that recommendation of Finance Commission. Idರಲ್ಲಿ, when I was going through it, there was this one. So whatever recommendation is, Press Information Bureau, it was there that there are two kinds of reports or recommendation. One which is implemented through an order of the President, and the other which shall be implemented by executive order. Okay, so the recommendation of Finance Commission shall be implemented in two manner. One, order of the President. So this requires a greater degree of seriousness. Here this is through an executive order. That means by the Finance Ministry itself. If I see the difference over here, President's order is issued by the President, whereas here it is issued by the Ministry. Okay, scope is often related to key financial matters like distribution of this one. Here it deals with the administrative issues, how it shall be, what are the criteria for identifying the beneficiaries, etc. Grants, okay, specific ones, those one will be done through executive orders. This is more formal, this is informal, I mean less formal, formal only, less formal, and it can be very flexible, it can be changed as per the requirements, and then approval process, it may require even a constitutional changes or something like that, or even parliamentary approval. Here no such things, it's done by the executive branch. Anyway, so this even in polity you will be reading, but be aware that Finance Commission's report shall be implemented by the President and some of them shall be implemented through an executive order, Anta, you can keep in mind. Right. So that is with respect to Finance Commission. So in this context only you can expect a topic from federalism. Okay, so an essay topic, because I always believe that ultimately mains is where you should put your real effort. So start preparing, collecting information from now only. So a essay topic can be like this: critically examine the key issues affecting fiscal federalism in India and how can 16th Finance Commission address these challenges and promote cooperative federalism. So ee riti one page ka notes you should have. Either you do it now or after prelims, that's up to you. Okay, your note should contain something like this. It should contain a mix of headings. It should have headings plus it should have facts, using which you will write a beautiful narrative story expressing your views and opinion to the examiner, to the evaluator. That is what is an essay. Essay should have a very strong conceptual knowledge. Okay, to write that you should have headings under which you will be writing. So the stories will come once the headings are clear. Amele, you should have facts to support and justify these. So identify about 20-30 topics. right? We will try to do our side also, but you also should be able to do. Fiscal federalism. ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು related, can be very specific or can be very broad. Is that okay? So fiscal federalism ಅಲ್ಲಿ you should have ready-made facts. What are those facts? Start from constitution, constitutional facts. Okay, ಈಗ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ the question is specific to your economic matters, financial federalism, but you can also talk about administrative federalism or legislative federalism. All those things also can be done. So articles are important, correct? No. So the fact should include important articles. This you have to do. Nobody need to teach you all of this. This facts you should have ready-made. Adu ellanu beda. Okay, people tend to get carried away with facts. So not every fact you have to know. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್. ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ financial matter like article 280, article 275, article 282, ಆ ರೀತಿ important articles and what it means. Okay na. Other facts like this, important data. ಈ ತರ you will get hundreds of data and don't show off that I have these data. Keep those which you can remember. Don't make your notes bulky. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈಗ ಈ ತರ share of cess was 10% in 2011, which increased to 20%. We saw now also. So like that, one data. So cess and surcharges increasing compared to others. When you write, you need these data. Share of southern state in tax devolution was 23% in second, has now reduced to 15th in the 15th Finance Commission. ಈ ರೀತಿ you will get data. ಯಾವುದೇ current affairs magazine or newspaper or editorials in newspaper, you will get it. In the exam, you should be able to remember at least on 5-6 of them. In between, you write it, highlight it so that examiner, understand it. Rough agi. Okay. So, illon 25% and the 15% aitu anta. Correct? That way you can remember. Previously also I put some articles like that you can remember. Right? So, these are the headings. Don't explain under that. Your notes, I'm saying. Your note should have only 1 or 2 page on fiscal federalism. Just the heading. Rest you should build the capability to write on your own. ನೀವೇ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಆ ಹೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನೀವೇ ಒಂದು 1 page ಬರೆಯಷ್ಟು ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Okay. So, one is tax devolution, what we discussed in Finance Commission. Right? Erosion of states' autonomy, because now there is increase in centrally sponsored scheme where all the grants that they are getting are all tied grants, right? So imposing, so it reduces the flexibility. So in central government wants, that has to be implemented by the states. States don't have flexibility. One size fit all. Maybe in the northern states they have to focus on primary health and primary education. In southern state maybe they have to give importance to urban water management problem. Yes, infrastructure, drainage, other idu. Health is there, education is there, maybe these infrastructure they have to give importance. So one size fit all policy is another problem. FRBM targets are not only for center but also for the states. So this again restricts the freedom for the states. Alva? Because lot of grants are tied to their performance, which is evaluated through the performance in FRBM. We saw in our Karnataka budget only state could not achieve the targets because of whatever COVID, post-COVID, right? So post-economic recession, adi idu. So it restricts the expenditures of the states. In order to bring down their revenue deficit or effective revenue deficit, they have to cut down on expenditures. So this again reduces their flexibility. Equity versus efficiency dilemma. Should we give importance to poor states or should we give importance or reward the well-performing state? Equity versus efficiency debate. Richer versus poor. So this is rich. They say give it based on efficiency. Poor says give because we are underdeveloped. Okay, then absorptive capacity of backward states, meaning to what extent they can absorb the financial stress. Okay, then royalty on major minerals. We talk about southern states, so central states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, etc. Their minerals, major minerals are extracted by the central government. The royalty is given to them, but there is no revision of royalties. If you see here, non-revision of royalties of minerals. So disadvantaged the mineral rich state. They are saying that you are using our minerals for national development, but we are not getting royalty that helps us to develop. Then conditional versus unconditional grants. So most of the grants that are given are conditional. Okay, then Article 293, what is it? Okay, we'll come to that. Then GST issues, then state loans also. Loans also requires permission of, 293 is that, 293 is loans. Yes, so Article 293 is with respect to loans. Okay, so where center has to approve if state wants to take loan, which is already pending, then the state has to seek permission from the center. Article 293, states cannot raise any loans without the consent of Government of India if there is any loan made by the state which is still pending. So again, this restricts the borrowing ability of the states for whatever purpose it is. Okay, so Article 293. Then the GST issue also, the compensation ugly, okay, the sharings of it, etc. All that delay in the sharing of the compensation, etc. Those things in GST separately you will have to read it. You understood? So like this, your main should also contain specific headings for a particular topic. Mains also same strategy. Know everything about, something about the some topics. Know everything about those topics in detail. High probability you will get. The rest you can write on your own. So these are some things that you can write. So that's how you can prepare for your KS mains also. Okay, so as I told you, mix of both. There are some which are exclusive topics. Now, as I showed you, Finance Commission, one topic from prelims. But while preparing, finish off your mains preparation also. In the next 40 days, you can do that also. So 50% of your time, if you are giving full time for this, 50% of your time for mains. The other 50% of the time you give for your prelims. Even while doing prelims, keep a note on mains, facts, so adidalla. Okay, whether it is FRBM Act, they can ask for mains. Okay, whether it is monetary policy reforms, etc., they can ask. So, Ariti, they can ask all of this. So, mains, all these topics, make sure you know the syllabus, understand the concepts, etc. See, in Nammakpsc, we have materials for all of this. You can take those materials also, or we have specific classes also. So, one module you want to finish, you can finish off with class, or you can do self-study also. Okay, but notes making is very, very important. Okay, so like this we have, even if you go to our website, in the store, you will find various courses. Specific, if you want full course, or even specific, like only rural development course is there, basic science course is there, public administration is there, society, social issue, or only Karnataka history from KS mains point of view. So like that specific course you can do and finish it off also. Okay, so make sure that all these things in the next 70 days, seriously, Habba Adidala Aito, ಈಗ next another 70 days, make sure that you sit and study, okay, without getting diverted. Because lakhs of students, more than a lakh wrote last time. So hangene, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನರು, hardly 5,000 people will be writing your mains. So make sure you are there, okay, because otherwise you have to wait for another 3 years. Okay, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪುನಃ re-exam ಅದು ಇದು postponement ಗಲಾಟ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, somebody has put a case now also ante, so I don't know. So anyways, so just remain focused. In postpone agalla anta ansutte. I don't want to jinx it though. Okay, so 29th December ge prepare madi. Okay, so from both prelims, don't take it light. That's what I'm saying, because inno 70 days ide, aramag madana alla. Be quick. See ಈಗ ನಾನು how quickly we did it. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ your preparation also, 10 hours rapidly you have to do. Anyways, I don't have time for the next topic. I'll take it up next week. Okay, so we'll start with geography and places in news now. I hope it is useful. This is how we plan to do other topics also. So at the end, December tanka, on the 250 plus topics we plan to cover. So Harendra sir will continue now with the next part. Is that okay? Geography part. And in the after lunch, you will have polity and governance. See, these all will be useful so that quickly you can revise these topics. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good day. We'll be starting in 5 minutes. Okay.